Welcome back to Day Trade Like a Pro. It is Tuesday, October 13th. We're looking at the S&P 500. This is just a 5-minute chart. We have these, want to point out and walk through how the day played out here and what prediction points told us about it, and more importantly, what they tell us about what we're looking for here tomorrow. So this was yesterday, this test right here, it finally did get the breakdown. And then moving forward, we had this nice test down here. Now this area is a consolidation area with the 2 prediction points in here. And we did get that. And then moving on here for the rest of the day. Let's take a look at how the day actually played out and what it tells us about tomorrow. Now we had the consolidation that happened here. We have the big move back up here. Then we have down over here this nice, kind of test right here. And still got some consolidation around here. One thing to point out about the consolidation right here is that just because these are right here doesn't mean that the consolidation is going to happen in between here. It means in this area, just like what we saw, there's going to be consolidation. We saw that a little bit right here. Came back down here, came up here. I'm going to show you what played out over here in a minute. And then some nice selling, and then basically once we had the open and tested here and could really never, this was my a trade that I took here today, got short right here when it came back up and retested this area. And then this was also a really nice retest right there. Down to here, we did try a short right here on the live trade signals. We ended up taking that off at like a 2-tick loss or something like that. So we did try it here in the live trade signals. That didn't work. It did move back up here. Now you look at down here, if we are going to hold, if the market's going to hold up and end up moving up higher from this area, this is going to need to hold. Otherwise, we're going to see a move back down into the 3480s, maybe into the high 3470s, and then we might see a 60 to 80 point move up from that point. And if we don't get that, then expect a lot more selling to come into the market. I want to show you right here. I've shown you key turns a few times, but basically what happened, these are our key turn prices. You're not looking at prediction points anymore. Tested right here, very nice sell-off from here. This was a 20-point drop from this area. Came up, could never really break out and have any kind of momentum from here. And then ultimately that was the selling that happened. About 40 points in selling that happened from the high up here. So actually very nice. And then I want to show you, because I think I pointed this out. I don't remember if this was yesterday. If we look back over here, you can see, so this is an indicator called backfill. It points out these areas in the market where the market is likely to come back and trade to. It's these unfilled big institutional orders. You can see that over the course of a year, there's 1,500 levels on this 5-minute chart, and it has a 99% fill rate. So this was yesterday. We had these 4 levels that populated. If you look right here at the analytics, that's an 81% chance on day 2 that it's going to come back and fill these. Okay, so pretty likely that they're going to come back in here, especially because it's so close. Pretty likely they're coming back into this area. So here was the move down. You can see overnight there were some levels that the market traded back up to. This also correlated nicely with our key turn level. And then there was the selling that happened from there back down into this area. And then ultimately what happened here was that overnight we finally did get that next push down here to that 06 area, and we did fill this very bottom price. And that was about 30 something points. So these things kind of all work together, all help to tell a story, and they're all useful to have access to. And one thing is, so the key turns, backfill, and then also the box, we looked at that a little bit. You can see some of how that is. This is really a scalping strategy on the NQ. Anyway, that's those are all available in the Pro Suite, and this week we have a ridiculous offer going where you can get MAP and the Pro Suite. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go do that. Okay, here is what we're looking at right here on the crude oil. This is also key turn. Some hesitation right here, broke down, so there was an opportunity to sell it. Came back up, hesitated here, then a breakout trade. Came up, tested to the tick. This is obviously a short opportunity, and then ended up coming down here off of that. Okay, and then just one other thing I want to show you. This is gold. And what you can see on gold here was the market started. This was the start of Globex, came down, tested key turns, then big push below it, came back up, tested again, came down, tested it, then right here, broke up here, failed to get to this next one up here, and then came down, held, failed again, and then it was just really sort of off to the races by key turns over here. By the time the open came around, there was this failure. We were definitely looking short between here and here. Major breakdown, and then gold just absolutely sold off about 50 or so points from breaking down from key turns. So really useful in that regard. So again, if you haven't checked out the Pro Suite and the tools that are available there, go check that out. Okay, let's jump over here and look at tomorrow's prediction points. We had this drop down here during the day, today on Tuesday, that kind of stopped in the middle of nowhere, just in front of where yesterday was trading at the swing low. Pretty nice move up into this area. Right now, this CP is holding. If the market is going to move higher from this area, then this is going to need to hold as the swing low. Otherwise, we probably see back into the 3480s, maybe 3470s, high 3470s. Then we'll see. Outside chance, maybe we go into the 3460s. And then from that area, we're looking for 60, 70, 80 point move, maybe a new all-time high. We'll have to see. Now, if we don't get that kind of buying, then it's likely we'll get a lot more selling. So the overnight session here will tell us a lot. But if you look, that's tested. That's really already tested. This I'll keep an eye on as it comes up here. But this area holding here between, let's say, right in this area where 3,500 just is holding right there, somewhere in this area holding for higher, and maybe this does it. There was a lot of buying that was going on right here, and then they bought it up again right here off 3,500, and that might be enough to push us to new all-time highs. Otherwise, look for that 3480, high 3470s. If no real big buying comes in there, look for 3460s. And then from there, we're expecting to push to new all-time highs. Or if we don't start to see that kind of buying, we're looking for a much larger breakdown and a lot more selling, which would be really lead us into the election. So there you have it. There's what we're looking for tomorrow. And if you're in the live trade signals, we'll see you there. And if you have not checked out the offer with Pro Suite and MAP, go do that now. I'll put the link here below the video, and we will see you tomorrow.